You know, uh, after session 1, when it is session 2, it is always a challenge because all the major topics are already discussed in session 1 and points are not left basically. So each time when it is session 1, by session 2, it means a challenge. So I'll also give some challenge to Professor Moitro. Okay, it will be a very straight talk, very random talk from me, and it will be very difficult for him to sum up. So it will be his challenge. So I will start with this thing, whether speed is a blessing or it is a curse. Whether speed is required or actually it is not required. It is a boon or bane. Suppose it is aircraft or any marine vessel, a submarine aircraft carrier and this thing. If we enhance the speed by 200 nautical mile per hour, whether it will give some edge on us or not. Yes, obviously, this is a blessing on us. But when it comes to vehicle, the problem it begins. The more the speed, the more the risk. The more the speed, because the road users are plenty and space is limited. That is one of the major factors. That's why the difficulty level is quite high here when it comes to vehicle. So intervening factor, the difficulty level, these are quite high here. Actually, here we require, actually what we face, the driver's face, it is less space. Actually, they need more skill and other road users are there. So it is congested always. And the road features are also different. Sometimes it is curves and slippery road, seasonal factors, fog, visibility factor, obstacles. There are plenty of such factors that affect the driver. So it is the skill which is more important than the aircraft, the vessel, the speed for vehicle, for the road surface. Actually, this is the problem area, not in other place, because in air, yes, it is in air also there is some jamming nowadays, and also in waterways also, because there is also lack of space everywhere now, but on the road surface, particularly in India, it is always difficult because it is lack of space here. So what is the feeling of the driver? Feeling of the driver, actually, he whole day, actually, he drove his vehicle in a congested place at a speed of 10 kilometers per hour. And suddenly, actually, he moved to the national highway NH2. What will be his feeling? It is a kind of freedom. Actually, what he finds that from a closed area and he finds some open area. So his immediate feeling will be to enjoy his freedom. How? By just gearing up the speed. So speed is a fancy for him. Speed is a fancy for him. Speed is okay also when he's self-disciplined. He is self-disciplined, okay? So that time speed is okay. He has respect and appreciation for other road users also. He knows the other road users, how they will use the road. Okay, and he has profound respect for them. So naturally he'll be self-disciplined then. Then he has fear of law and reverence for law. He has fear of law and reverence for law. And he has a very good condition vehicle. The vehicle condition is very good. And there is enough road space for overtaking. And risk is minimum then. And suitable weather condition and other features also on road. And he has high skill as driver. So in that case, speed is okay. Speed is okay. Now, actually, it comes to overspeeding. Now, what is the good speed and what is the overspeeding? Good speed is up to that level when particularly that speed is manageable speed, or that means the driver could manage. He has total control over his vehicle. That time the speed is good speed. Up to that level, he can avail that speed. But overspeeding means it is reckless, breakneck speed. Basically, he drives beyond his capacity and the condition of vehicle is not suitable for that. And he is ignoring the other factors. And it is a kind of joyride, a stunt ride. Okay. So it is the sense of winning, that I am winning. So I'm having some good vehicle or this thing, okay, maybe the vehicle good. So I can actually overtake anybody. So I'm gaining time by that way. I'm gaining time. But one just little accident that will give him all the negative features, even not his vehicle, even any vehicle ahead of him. If that vehicle meets an accident, it will give the total jamming of the road, even if it is national highway or state highway. So overspeeding is basically for the vagary of the driver. Actually, he thinks that actually I have right to do this thing, and maybe he is influenced by liquor, or he has a real hurry or emergency situation. That's why he is speeding up. So there are two kinds of speed situations here: necessary speed and unnecessary speed. So we'll always remain within that domain of necessary speed and good speed. Up to that level, one driver can achieve that speed. Okay. But there is a dogma here. The dogma is here that speed is appreciated by the society. Speed is appreciated by the society as a macho kind of thing, masculine thing, and it is treated as winner as long as there is no accident. The moment there is one accident, there is another feature, another dogma, it comes into effect. That is the low and slow glorification. Low and slow glorification means the bigger vehicle is always at fault. So it is basically the default doctrine. Default doctrine, because the low and slow, that means if a vehicle hits one bicycle, it means it is the fault of the bigger vehicle. So it is the same people who is appreciating the speed earlier, but the moment there is an accident, it is the same people, they will say that yes, it is the fault of the driver. So same people, the reaction is different. So it is pre-accident and post-accident behavior of the society. It is different. Then why actually accident occurs? Accident occurs because of several factors. Okay. But is it for the awareness problem? What do you think? It is lack of awareness. People do not know. The drivers, they do not know what is overspeeding, what is good speed. They know. Everybody, all stakeholders, all road users, they know. They are well aware. Only a portion may be unaware. But basically, the entire society knows the pros and cons of using road. They know. But here comes the doctrine of presumption. Doctrine of presumption means the jaywalker, he thinks that everybody will behave in a positive mode and they will behave good. And actually his behavior may be bad. It is not approved, but the others' behavior, that will be always good. And he is always safe because of that. He can use mobile phone during walking and this thing. Okay, he is a jaywalker and he has the right to do this thing. Okay. But it is others' duty not to hit him. Similarly, the drivers, what he thinks. The other drivers, they should not be at fault with him. He is always right. Okay. He is always right, and he is presumed that he will never be prosecuted. He presumed that the police will be so inadequate that he is basically that offense that will never be seen, or he will never be prosecuted. He has no fear. He has no fear for law, no fear for prosecution, because he presumed this doctrine of presumption of all road users that others will follow the law and this thing, not me. Okay. And I presume always that I am always right. It is not the awareness. It is that type of awareness that others will follow all the norms, all the traffic rules, not me. Okay. So that's why basically, and what he will do, the driver at fault, what he will do, will not manage the speed. It is not the speed management. What he will do, consequence management. Consequence management means if there is one accident and he could survive that accident, what he will do, there will be no trouble because he will manage the consequence. How? actually by influence, by his link, social contact, his craft, his dodging, and his alibi power, and other things also, the false papers and smearing of his number plate and this thing. Okay, he will do all this thing, and he will prove that at the time of accident his vehicle was 200 kilometers away in a garage. He can prove. So it is consequence management. So not speed management. Basically, in India, basically what we do, we use our power. We use our power and we manage the consequence if we could survive. And what are the advantages? This thing, okay? Advantage in this case is, it is basically what they do in case of survival of the driver. He will try to do hit and run cases. He will never be there. He will never be there after the accident, and his vehicle is still there to escape that particular place of accident. He immediately escape, because the people around him, okay, he will simply beat him up, and there will be on kangaroo court, and immediately he will be beaten to death in case of any serious accident. The drivers will be always at fault, and the people he will do actually this thing. Okay, so basically what the driver at fault he will do, immediately escape. So hit and run case is basically a plenty. What it gives the advantage in case of hit and run, you know, if the particular vehicle is never featured, particularly if the number plate is false, his papers are false, and this thing, he could manage this thing, and there is no insurance claim that can be done by the next of kin of the victim, because only 50,000 he will get. But in case of third party assurance, the fault liability and this thing as per MV Act, otherwise he could get up to 5 lakh or more, according to the actually the judges. Okay, they will decide the quantum of this compensation. Okay, so that can be averted if the case is hit and run. The problem of hit and run is this: the golden hour, actually it is vitiated, it is violated, because the person who is hitting a bicycle, the person actually basically gets killed because of the profuse bleeding and other thing also, because of the injury itself. Okay, the golden hour that can be achieved if the vehicle that at fault there, may be at fault, may not be at fault. Okay, but the driver, he could use the golden hour, and basically he takes that victim to the nearest hospital, and this thing, there is chance of recovery. But it is basically not here in India, because the hit and run case is because of this thing, because they want escape from law. They want escape from law. That's why it is basically actually avoided. So golden run, the good Samaritan, all the other versions, these are violated because of this thing. Okay, the people at fault, basically the driver at fault, they leave the place immediately after the accident if the condition is such favorable to him. Okay, so this is another feature. That's why there are too many hit and run cases, and basically I analyzed these cases, and particularly for some cases I saw basically only 50%, 50,000 the victim got. Otherwise, he could get plenty. Okay. So, what the guilty driver needs? The guilty driver needs a good vehicle to escape. Good vehicles means after accident, the vehicle is still good, so that he could escape from the spot. Then false number plate or soiled, the actually number plate, deliberately soiled. Sometimes they use cow dung even only, or cursive writing, or this type of thing, so that it cannot be caught even by any CCTV camera, even if it is caught by any such automated number plate reader and this thing, you cannot prove it, because it is not a genuine number in that case, because he covered the number, defaced the number. So that is a kind of dodging the law, basically they do in that case. So basically the enforcement has, the sector actually, they cannot do anything against this. Hello. Okay, so what we have the national highway here in Bengal. It is 3,857 kilometer national highway total length, and state highway is 4,378 kilometer total length. This high length, actually the huge length, the defaulters, they basically exploit this thing. Okay, they basically exploit this length, and no enforcement cannot be done here because of this serious length problem. Okay, all the enforcement you can find only within the interiors of a town or any city, or at most in the periphery area, because the length is such that it is not possible. What we can do, we can use some gadget, basically the leader based automated. Okay, so leader based automated number plate reader and challan system generator. Okay, these are the features that we can do, but here the problem of defacement of number plate and this thing. Okay, so this is the basically the problem. So the backdrop is such that whether people know or not, whether people are aware or not, yes, in Bengali it is called Gyan Papi. In English we call it the land of willful or conscious sinner. Yes, in India it is a land of willful and conscious sinner. We all know the consequences, but we know that with that can be managed. Even all the consequences that can be managed. And we have overconfidence in every sector that leading to the presumption. Presumptions are basically based on overconfidence. And basically intelligent and crafty basic people to dodge the law, and poor enforcement. Yes, we agree, because we have just a few number of people for entire traffic arrangement here in Bengal. It is not possible for us to do this thing. Okay, then accident. How the society sees about the accident. Society is very soft about accident. They do not treat it as a crime. It is just a chance. It is ill-fated incident. It is not a crime here. The society thinks that accidents just it is ill-fated incident. It is a matter of chance. It is not a crime. So society is basically very soft about the accident. So poor response from all stakeholders. That's why. And the people, what's the value of the people? Those who are the victims, basically they are dispensable because of overpopulation here in India. Basically they are dispensable, and that's why these people are basically never valued. And speed is, on the other hand, it is macho. Speed is manly. Speed is masculine. Aggression is valued here. Aggression is valued and respected. And it is a superiority kind of feeling that it is so high cost BMW motorcycle. So BMW motorcycle with a cost of 23 lakh. So it is their right actually to basically go faster. So it is a superiority pride here until it meets with an accident. The moment there is an accident, everything it changed. That's the reverse view of the society. It is the higher, the costlier is this, basically the entire blame will be thrust on that costlier thing or higher vehicle. Okay. So basically this is the backdrop. And under this backdrop, basically, is there any solution? Yes, we have some sort of solutions also. How? That we can mechanically actually, we can regulate the speed by using speed governors and these things sometimes for some type of vehicles, not all. Okay. It is basically the sweet will of the driver that is required, and the fear of law and prosecution. How you can instill the fear? Basically by employing not the number of actually constable or number of this thing, okay, civic volunteer and others. It is not possible for us because it is highly costly. Then what we can do? We can do using the gadgets. Gadgets that will give you actually, it is a constant source also, constant source of actually fundraising, because the more the prosecution, you will get more fund also. But one day this actually the people will be very cautious. Then the fund generation will stop. Basically, people will abide by the law. The moment the people will abide by the law, the fundraising approach, that can be easily stopped because of this thing. We have seen in Calcutta, we have seen this in Calcutta, where there is some speed actually regulator and this thing that that particular gadget is used for challan generation. The drivers, they know. So in that particular phase, the stretch of road, we cannot actually overspeed. Otherwise, we'll get challans, automated challans. The moment automated challans are there, actually they know that particular stretch of road. So naturally, fundraising is also below because of this thing. It is actually reduced. Then use of technology, yes, we can do. Then number plate protocol. We have to this thing because all the foulings are basically, this foul is done by number plate. So we have to follow the number plate protocol. The exact number plate we should use in every vehicle so that it can be read by the gadgets clearly, so that the challans can be automatically generated. Then the vehicle condition. The license can be renewed only when the tire condition and the vehicle conditions, these are okay. And you know, in India, okay, the entire set of tires are hired for one day when there is a renewal of actually license. Entire set of tires. The moment the license is renewed, again, actually it is back to the old tires. Okay, it is done. So there are plenty of merit here for defaulting the law. Plenty of merit in India. But one thing we can do also, when we notice that there is overspeeding, suppose we have already noticed there is a speed of 170 kilometer per hour. Recently, actually, we studied that it is done by some of the drivers here in Calcutta itself in dead night. They are using this type of speed. So what we can do? The driving license suspension. It is not only basically the challan generation or prosecution, but also we can add it with the driving license suspension. The moment there is overspeeding, if it is noticed, so DL should be suspended in a methodical way. Only then there will be some pressure on the drivers, erratic drivers. Okay. And the social approval, actually, finally, it is required that reduction of speed in particular phase, particular stage is not regressive, but it is progressive sometimes because it saves the life. So that view of the society, and it is basically a crime. So actually, the road accidents are mostly crimes. It is not just a ill-fated incident. So this type of view of the society, this is also required. Okay, so this is my overall impression about this speed management, because the important topics are already discussed there. So the unimportant topics, the peripheral topics I discussed today.